So we heard a lot of rumors regarding changes to be made to the employment permits in this year, 2024. Finally, Minister Berg and Minister Higgins have welcomed the new Employment Permit Act, which they call the Modernized Employment Permit Act, okay, which is actually going to be of great benefits to employers and also employees. So this is what today's video is going to be about. I hope you all enjoy it because it is a great day in the island. Stay tuned. So before we take a look at the new Employment Permit Act, I just want to give you guys a brief of what the old Employment Permit actually stated. Okay, so previously, okay, if you are coming in as an immigrant and you are going to work with an employer, whether you being on a critical skill permit or a general work permit, you are expected to at least be with the employer for at least a year before you can transfer or apply for a new employment permit. Okay, so if you still want to, there is an option for you to still stay with the employer for 2 whole years before you can now move to your stamp 4. That is in my case. I recently did a video about my stamp 4 where I was really happy, and I also shared some benefits of being on the stamp 4. All of that has changed, and it's of a very good benefit for both employers and also to employees. Going straight into what today's news is about, Minister of Enterprise, Trade and Employment, Peter Berg, and Minister of State for Business, Employment and Retail, Emma Higgins, have welcomed a new employment permit which will come into force on Monday, 2nd September, which is today. Okay, so this new act consolidates and modernizes employment permits law and brings benefits for employers and permit holders alike. So now let's look at some of the key changes in the employment permits. Okay, so the first one is ensure operational features are more easily adaptable, allowing the employment permit system to respond quickly to changes in the labor market and also business needs. I'm going to go into details. And then the second one is enable subcontractors registered here to access the employment permit system in recognition of modern labor market practices and values. And also there is an introduction of seasonal employment permits based on strong labor market and also support the seasonal needs of certain sectors. And then the last one is enable the transfer of employment permits to a new employer after a certain period of time, which will afford better opportunities for workers and improve working conditions. Okay, so now let's go straight into detail. Okay, what this whole provision is about. I just want to take it from the website so you know that I'm not actually just bringing you stuff from my own head. So now going into detail, this new employment permit actually brings a lot of things in place. Like we have what is called a seasonal employment permit holders, where non-Europeans are able to get this permit, come into the country and then work for a period of 7 months. Like those are the horticulture, those are the agriculture sector, like fruit pickers and all of that. Okay, so they're able to come into the country, work for 7 months, and also they can also renew it as well. So it's actually going to help with shortage of employers at this sector. Okay, so it's very good. I'll say that it's a very good opportunity, and if you are watching me from wherever, it's a very good opportunity to start looking into jobs like that. Okay, agriculture and all of that, where you can have such opportunities. Okay, and then the next one is for general work permit holders and also critical skill permit holders to be able to change their employers. Okay, so as I said initially, previously you are allowed to be with the same employer if you're on the critical skill permit for 2 years before you can now move to your stamp 4. However, you can still change your employer after a year, mostly after a year, but it's kind of quite difficult. But now it's a law in this new employment permit that we have. Okay, so it states that you can change your employer, okay, after 9 months. So assuming I'm a nurse and then I'm in Ireland and I'm with let's say a nursing home or the HSC, and I don't really find things going really well for me, in this case after 9 months I'm free to change my employer, which is really, really good. Okay, because I've seen a lot of people having to be stuck at the hospital even though things are not really going so well for them, because they just have to stay for like a year or like 2 years. Okay, it depends on the circumstance, but this new employment permit says that it's just 9 months, which makes it more flexible. Okay, and I believe that this new employment permit is actually going to make employers treat their employees really nice and kind of give better working conditions, if I would say. Okay, so it's really good for general permit holders, good for critical skill permit holders, because you have a voice and then you know that, okay, I can just stay with you for 9 months. If you're not treating me well, or I feel like I'm not needed here or I'm not really valued, you can go ahead and then change your employer, because it is now law. You are allowed to do this. So it's a very great news. Okay, I'm not just saying that just have the mind that, okay, I'm coming to Ireland to just change my employer. No. If the working environment is good, then it's a plus for you. But if you're not really being valued and you feel like all that you are going through is not good, then after 9 months you can change your employer. So in the long run, I think most employers will be forced to set up to actually give the employees good, better service. So this new employment permit actually allows progression within your role. It states that the act aims to improve the status and employment opportunities of permit holders by providing a provision to allow for promotion and internal transfer in the same company where a permit holder will use the same skill. So in an instance where you have actually upgraded yourself, okay, you now know that you have a new position, a new role, there is no need in this new act for you to get a new employment permit. Whereas you're in the same sector, okay, you are with your employer and then you have been upgraded, there is no need. So it reduces any form of burden on the employer, it reduces any burden on you having to apply for any employment permit again. So this is a very good thing. Like, there's career progression, like people are now going to be encouraged to go for like positions, you know, kind of aim higher, because it's going to, like, when it comes to a company, they don't have to apply for any new employment permit for you anymore. So that euros is safe. And an instance where you even have to do it yourself, then your money, you know, you are going to keep that money. You have saved that cash as well. I think this is a very good as well for like employers and also for employees. Like, it's really good. Lastly, we have the modernized labor market needs test. Previously, employers are required to actually advertise job posts across the EEA, okay, for a specific period of time before they are allowed to give it to non-Europeans. And it's actually through the print media and all of that. This time around, it's been changed. They're saying that the employers can now advertise, like, you know, digitally. They can advertise for job posts, and it makes it a bit more flexible for employers, because that kind of print system is kind of outdated, okay, outdated. There is nothing like that anymore. Bringing this into reality kind of makes it more flexible for employers, and then non-Europeans also get a better chance of being able to be employed into Ireland. I'm just going to read it a little bit for us to have a better understanding. So it states that the Act also addresses the inflexibility inherent in the labor market need test, which requires that a role be advertised across the EEA and in print prior to a permit being sought. The new bill will simplify the process by requiring employers to publish vacancies online only and will reflect modern advertising practices. Moreover, by removing operational detail into secondary legislation, the labor market needs test can continue to be amended as recruitment practices evolve over time, balancing the protection of the EEA labor market with the needs of employers. This is also really good, because there is no need for them to have to, you know, kind of publish job posts all over the old system, like through the newspapers and all of that, all over the EEA for some specific period of time before they are now allowed to bring in non-Europeans. And one thing that I actually really love about this new Employment Permit Act is the fact that they are saying that this new employment permit can actually be amended, okay, as and when the recruitment processes changes. So it's not kind of fixed. They have been able to make in a way that it can be changed, things changes and all of that, which is very good, because things keep on changing. We are in a modern world. When things are made difficult, yes, it can be changed easily. Okay, so the new seasonal employment permit makes it more easier. You being able to move from your employer to a different employer is equally good. And the fact that you don't really need a new employment permit whenever you are being assigned to a new role, or you have been able to climb the ladder, okay, in your professional field, is really good. And the fact that when it comes to job posts, employers are not really tied down to a particular way of advertising. They are being given a broader way, a more simpler way that they just have to do it online, which also gives a better opportunities to non-Europeans as well. This is a very good news for employers and also for employees in Ireland. So before I end today's session, okay guys, let's look at this beautiful message from Minister Begg and also Minister Higgins. So this message is actually from Minister Begg, okay? He says that this new law represents the biggest reform of employment permit legislation in over a decade, and will result in many positive changes in Ireland's economic migration policy. The improvements in the new act will allow for a more modernized, flexible employment permit system, as well as ensuring employees' rights are maintained. It will greatly benefit employers and permit holders alike. Definitely, this is actually going to be very good for employers and also employees. Definitely employees, because they're going to have better work environments, okay? And then definitely they're going to be more competitive. That's what I actually want, because most employers will actually try to give employees, like, you know, or skilled workers better working conditions, because everybody knows that if I don't really do that for you after 9 months, you definitely find a new employer, you know. And if you are good at your job, every employer will want to keep you. Now let's look at the message from Minister Higgins. So Minister Higgins states that Ireland is a strong place economically. Our economy is experiencing good and very low levels of unemployment. To build on that and to ensure continual competitiveness and prosperousness, we need to attract more international talents. This new law, along with recent measures like the granting of work rights to the eligible spouses and partners of certain employment permit holders, and the rollout of a single permission to both work and live in Ireland, will massively help to achieve this goal. I am delighted to see the enactment of this law, which will greatly enhance Ireland's employment permit system with the ability of migrant workers to transfer a permit between employer after a certain amount of time, and the introduction of the seasonal employment permit later this year. These new measures will continue to make Ireland the destination of choice for skilled workers. Yes, so I'm actually going to encourage all skilled workers. If you are really interested in Ireland, why not? You should make Ireland like your first choice. Yeah, your first choice, okay? Because I think these leaders actually think a lot about employers and also employees, but most importantly, like non-Europeans or non-Irish, like, you know. So why not? If you are really looking for a place that you feel very safe, you know, very comfortable for your family, why not? Ireland should be your first choice, guys. What do you say about this new Employment Permit Act? Let me know your thoughts on it. If you have anything to add that maybe I left out, why not just leave it at the comment section. If you have any question for me, why not just drop it at the comment section. If I do have it, I'll definitely, you know, come to that and also reply to that as well, okay? Remember that Minister Higgins just mentioned the new employment permit that was actually made for spouses. Yes, I also did a video on that, so if you haven't watched that video, I also encourage you to check that video out as well. Remember to like and also share this video if you found it very helpful. Drop a comment, say something nice, and also encourage your girl. Help share the videos, guys. Like, we really have to help your girl. It's not easy trying to bring you guys all the videos. Thank you guys so much for always staying with me. See you all soon on my next video. Bye.